And just like that, Deliveroo's arrived. Yes, let's go. Good morning. How you all doing? I think you know where I am. You've just seen I've walked across Ferrybridge car park and I'm down at the deep end. I've not really walked that far this morning. I've just decided to drop in here just before the bird sanctuary. There's a little bit of broken ground, old wrecks maybe, and yeah, I'm just going to fish over here. Today's target, firstly, I'm going to catch some mackerel. Not only for bait, for breakfast. Look at that. Good weed. Yeah, good start to the day. Obviously, my last video down here was on the blondes. My plan was to fish for about 5 or 6 hours, and I ended up fishing for 13. But I didn't get a blonde. I caught a nice red gurnard, so it worked. It was a long day, but I didn't blank. So as I've just said, the first job to do this morning is to catch a few fresh mackerel. One, as I've said, because I'm going to eat some for breakfast. I don't really eat lots of fish, but I'm trying. But I do like mackerel for breakfast, so that'll be our first treat. Catch a couple for bait. Once I've done that, I'll bring you back. I'll talk you through my plans, my target, my techniques, but we're going all summery today. You wouldn't know it because it's raining, well, drizzling. It's quite lumpy. We've got 15 mile an hour, southwesterly, straight in our face all day. Again, you know about this by now, but we've got a chance. Right, let's see if there's any mackerel out there. Hopefully, they're not very far out. Don't fancy doing this for very long. Just want to get into the fishing. Let's see. Nice size, that one. We'll work that off. Don't want no blood, do we? There's a scad. That's a French mackerel or a scad. Bony, you don't want to eat them. They normally run at first light and last light, and then you can catch them at night as well. On little loomy pop-ups or loomy sabikis. But yeah, they're good fun in the match on pop-ups. But that's the scad. There's a mackerel. Right. I've not got my waterproof bottoms, the pebbles are still wet. The sun's going to come up in a minute, apparently, and warm it up. Right. So today, I was going to fish summery and pop-ups and light on both, but that weed's going to kill it. So what I'm going to do is fish an earth rig, remember that? Fish an earth rig with 3 pop-ups for bream, and then stick a whole squid out with a little bit of scad or mackerel for maybe a smooth hound or a ray. I'm not sure how it's going to go. As I've said about 100 times, this could be quite difficult, which is annoying because we're not really getting a break at the moment, but that's how it is. On the pop-ups or the earth rig, I'm going to put a rolling lead, get plenty of movement, hopefully get a few bream. And on the whole squid, I'm going to put a grip lead, just because the weed is going to be a pain. So what I've gone for is 8-foot earth rigs. So you know this by now, if you've been watching my channel. There's the earth bar, pretty straightforward. URFE, we've done this. It's a 3 below. Plenty of bling. Popped up. Only 6 inches. 6-inch snoods. It's gone nice and short for an earth rig. Sometimes I fish it up to 12, 14 foot. But as I knew it was going to be quite choppy, there's not much tide either. I've just had it quite small. But for me, I like using it shorter on Chesil. Everyone does it differently. If I'm popping up for gars and mackerel, obviously I'll make it longer, turn it into a Portuguese rig. But for the style of fishing and where I'm fishing this morning, that's perfect. As with last year, we caught loads of fish on it. And I should imagine, if the weed allows, we'll catch lots of fish today. Squid. So what I'm going to do is cut some little strips off. I'll just show you on one. I'm not going to cast this a million miles, probably 40, 50 yards. Just going to put it through 3 or 4 times like that. If I need to power cast it later, I use my bait elastic and a bait needle, put some tiny little strips and elasticate it to the hook to stop it coming off. But for now, I'm going to try and keep it as natural as possible. I'll probably pick up a few more mackerel, so that's why I've only caught 3. Sometimes it's quite nice to get a steady run of fresh bait or food. I've got some longer pop-ups in there. I've got some 8 and 10 footers that I could just plop in the surf and catch a few more mackerel if needed as well. But my main target today is bream and smooth hangs. I've not heard of any triggerfish yet. It doesn't mean that I won't get one. I'm out trying, but I've not heard or seen any. Sometimes they turn up, sometimes they don't. Last year was a great year. This year, as you know, it's a new year. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be right. It's only a bit of weed. As you can see, I've got it up nice and high. Hopefully that weed is on the first wave. So if I get my line up high enough, because with the feathers, obviously I was winding in constantly into the surf. Whereas if I get my rods up high enough and my line out, hopefully I shouldn't be bothered too much, but I think it's going to be a pain. It's not too bad, we fish through it. Hopefully at different states of tide, it clears off. So what I might have to do is walk up to my right, the bridging camp. I've had to do that before to get away from the weed. Or go up to Abbotsbury, which is a right pain in the ass. Anyway, I'm fishing. If I get any bites, I'll bring you back, everyone. Let's get a whole squid bait out there for one of those gummy sharks, or those sharks with no teeth here in Dorset.
Heading up the west coast in the morning to find a place where no one knows our faces.
Could be a mackerel. Oh, I think I missed it. Wow, I missed that one. I'm calling weed. It doesn't look too bad now. There's not loads of it. Sometimes around here you can get massive rafts that makes it unfishable. It's not too bad. My wife calls me Negative Nancy because I'm pretty negative, believe it or not. I'm not. Could be a brain messing around with that. Definitely something there. Trouble is, it's a 4-0 and a 4-0 circle. Unless I hook it in the eye, I can't see myself getting this in. There's something there. What is... Something's moving the lead. Yeah. Let's have a look, shall we? Tighten this up. Oh, could be a fish on. Might be weed. Definitely weed on, but I'm not sure. It's just quite difficult today. I think this is weed everywhere. The fishing's been alright. I know I've not caught anything, but I'm able to hold bottom. It's not too relentless. Ooh. Here we go. What have we got? Ugh. Right. There we are. A bloody conger eel, mate. Ooh, got him on the circle though, look at that. Go on, son. Straight in the kisser. Hey, we're not blanking. I'm getting bites and I'm able to fish. I feel a lot better about it. Half an hour ago, when I put my first baits out, or especially when we were mackerel fishing, I didn't think I'd even be able to hold bottom. So I'm getting bites. It's not the target species, but we're on the fish. If it's not mackerel, I'll probably get them on the way in. The water's full of them. Yeah, I don't think this is bream everyone. What have we got? Oh, mackerel, yeah. Right, I'll sort this out. And there you go. They made a right mess of my pop-up. But that's not mackerel, that's scad. They are absolutely amazing bait for undulates. So I'm going to keep them too. But that's enough bait now. Boom and out. There's so many mackerel around. From as far as I can see, there's birds working along there, look, all at the beach. It's crazy. But anyway, I'll knock these out. I'll get another rig out and I'll make myself some breakfast. We're on the fish, yo. There are so many mackerel here. What I've done is just filleted down 4 sides, so 2 mackerel. I like to take the backbone out, so I cut a nice line and pull it out, as you can see. It can be a little bit wasteful on the meat if you've got some, I was going to say pliers, but in the kitchen terms, if you've got some tweezers, then you could probably pick them out. But look, there's so many mackerel. I caught these 2 at the same time. They're not massive, but there's enough meat for me. Look, I just trim off the belly bones, off the top, and then just take the backbone out. I know you know how to do this. I'm no expert, by the way. It's actually annoying me now. What I like to do is heat the butter up first and get some salt and pepper that I robbed from McDonald's. If I was at home or in a kitchen, I'll probably pad that down to dry it out with some blue roll, but I've not actually got any of that. A little bit of salt and pepper, just like so. That's just starting to sizzle. And there you go. Looking good. And there you go. Like that. Oh, that juice is coming out. Cheers everyone. Good morning. Thanks, Chesil. They were swimming around 10 minutes ago. Beat that for freshness. This doesn't feel like a fish. This could be weed. But the weeds moved off as well. And we got a chance. I'm really going to concentrate on the fishing now. Hopefully get us into a few bream. Every time I put a pop-up rig out for the bream, the mackerel take it or the scad. So I might just have to fish on the bottom for now, which is a shame. I'm not sure what this is. It doesn't feel fishy, but it doesn't feel like weed. Could be a lobster, imagine that. Something decent. Probably going to be a weed fish. Off we got. Oh, I got another conger, everyone. And weed. Little strap. So. Bloody things. I don't really mind because I'm catching fish, but there is another conger eel. He's nailed that. Right, I'll T-bar this little chap off and we're going to get right into it now. I've had a little go this morning. The weed was a pain, the mackerel's been a pain. I've had some lovely breakfast, courtesy of Chesil Beach. I'm feeling good. It's time to fish hard. Lots of it came off in the surf, but that's what we're dealing with. Look, I'm gonna have to pack up now. It's unfishable. And there we go. Unfortunately, everyone, it's that time where Mother Nature has beat us yet again. The last few weeks have been pretty hard. The weather really doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and this wind is relentless. As you can see, I've got a PB seaweed, but we've had some fish today. Obviously we had some scad, we had some mackerel, we had some congers. I set the day up and it should have been a great day. I ate some food on this beautiful beach, but it's not meant to be.